Steve, a frustrating afternoon obviously for you.
Yes, huffed and puffed, just didn't have that killer instinct. They got their goal, as they did at their place last year, and held on to it for dear life after 5 minutes. And we couldn't break them down this time. At their place, broke them down 3 times and won. So, give them credit, they defended resolutely. We just wasn't good enough in the final third to put it in the back of the net. Having said that, we had 3 or 4 half chances. Another day might have gone in. I don't think they tested Tony in the second half. It was all in their half. So frustrating. The more frustrating thing is I'll take everything on my shoulders. But after 8 games of the season, everything was going rosy. Everyone was happy. Best thing since sliced bread. And we're there to be shot down because people pay their money. But I've had one person telling me what team to play. And another one at the end of the game swearing at me, telling me to get it sorted in no uncertain terms, which I had a conversation with him and tried to get footballing ideas from him about what he was going on about, and he couldn't answer. And I appreciate he's been to Tonbridge Angels sport for years and years, travels home and away, which he told me. But 8 games, after 8 games, won't get none of that. And we're there to be shot down. I won't buy into the... We have got 6 players out and 6 influential players. George Bevan today, before the game, ruled out by Melbourne because of the hamstring. If he goes for another 6 weeks, it's a nightmare. So he was taken out, and that was at 1:30 today. But out there on the pitch, we had enough players out there with experience to go and do enough. I had Tashi out there as 18. He come on, might not be strong enough, which is another couple of comments I heard, but he's learned his trade. And he's what we had today, and I thought we'd give a good account of himself. And then brought Liam on for the last 10 minutes or so for a bit of energy up and down that side, just to go for broke. But as another boy who's 16, he's had one good half against Sittingbourne, where it was fantastic. And he comes on day and 10 minutes, I thought he'd done really well. But if I put him on from the start at 16 years of age, or bring him on at half time, and they get on the outside of him a couple of times, the boy's confidence might go real bottom low. And I'm not doing that. These players are to be nurtured. I don't care what anyone says. I will nurture them, and they'll play when I feel fit to play, whether people agree with that or not. But 13 games in, the last 5 league games haven't been good. 13 games in, you know, and I ain't going to keep saying, 14 games in, 15, because our luck's going to change. I've never known a team to have 6 major injuries at one point, where the energy in training, and this is what people don't see, when you've got a full 16, 17 players, the energy in training is immense because they want that starting place. When they come on, they're immense because they want to keep that shirt. At the minute, we're treating them like with kid gloves because kind of no more injuries, because then we are down to bare bones. But the team out there was good enough to get a result today. Fair play to them, they scored, which again, the comment I heard was, why wasn't no one marking him? How many goals does Nathan Elder score where he gets away from his marker? It's part and parcel of football. You know, it wasn't as if he wasn't trying to mark him. The boy got a run in, free header, goal. That's football. So, all I would say, before you go on any more questions, Jim, is people voice their opinions, and great, I love it, the forum, I get on that, I love that. But after 8 games, it was alright. Now I'm starting to see the fruits of people's labour in terms of, are they behind us? Do they want us to foul? You know what I mean? So, only time will tell with that. And I've got broad enough shoulders to deal with it. And that's why, again, I'll speak to anybody about football if they give me a valid argument into what they're talking about. And unfortunately, that gentleman couldn't.
You've talked about the goal we conceded, and I understand that, so I want to ask you about that.
Well, I'll elaborate on that as well. Sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
Players are given numbers to mark on what we feel is going to be the best person to win that header. And 4 players in there had 4 players to mark. Jerome's man got away from him and scored. What can I do about that? You know? You can't do nothing about it. You can tell them to get tight, they're tight. If he gets a bit of movement and gets away and scores, he scores. What can you do?
Only Alan Ince scores enough goals from set pieces, doesn't he?
That's why he's a threat.
No,
he's a threat. You know, Leo Leary scored the other night from a set piece. He was told to mark by someone. So they all had players. On this occasion, he got away and scored. I think he had one straight after that, but second half when they had corners, he didn't have no free headers. You know, he had headers that were going. He won the ball, but they were going off the pitch for goal kicks. So that's football. That's football. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. And I thought Tash, you mentioned Tash, I thought he did pretty well actually. Against, again, difficult central defenders. I mean, they're big lads, aren't they?
Well, you look at him and Nathan Elder, physically, you know, not the same. But some of the stuff he done in the first half, you know, that the audacity to have that back flick from Bluey's cross that had the keeper scrambling across the goal. You know, that's just instinctive. When he went down the left-hand side and left 2 players for dead. In the second half, when he done that little bit of skill, he's a very good player, which is learning his trade. You know, and I've put him in there. You know, we're on the back of a 4-0 defeat in the last league game. You know, I thought go with a little bit more solid because they're on the back of a 4-1 win. Whether it backfired on me or not, you know, put Bluey up with Tashi, but we still didn't supply them the balls. So you can play 5 up front. If you don't supply them the balls, they're not going to score. So,
do you regret putting Bluey out so fairly late in the game? Would you have done it if you had your time over again? Would you put him up a bit earlier, perhaps?
No, because football's about building confidence, right? We go and lose that 2-3-0 today because I'm pushing everyone forward. It is a negative. First time in this club I've ever been negative. And I thought, as much as we had the ball, we had a few half chances, didn't penetrate them enough, but you could look at that system and say it's negative. Everyone knows I'm 4-4-2. Today I went something different because they've got some threats. You know, if George Bevan had played, it would have been a different story. But we nullified their threats, or tried to, and I think we did because they scored from a set piece.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't have changed it. Bluey done a job for me. Bluey got some joy in the first half. He's hit the bar in the first half. So he's coming from the right-hand side, like I've told him to do, got in the box and got a shot off. So no, I wouldn't have changed it. But like I say, that's the first time probably in my eyes that in 3 years I've been here that it's really been a negative decision. But was it negative when you got Whitson, Luke Allen bombing on, you got Nick Wheeler bombing on, you got Luke Bluden bombing on?
Yeah.
They're not robots, they can go here, there and everywhere.
Yeah.
As long as they get covering their position defensively, that's fine. But no, I wouldn't have changed it, Jim.
Injuries seem to have been okay today, just about, but you can never tell, I know.
Nick's calves are tight. They were the other night, so we've got to monitor that because if his calf pops, that's 4 or 5 weeks. But no, he's all right. As far as I know at the minute, like James Folks' groin, he was nowhere near it today. Could have got 10 minutes. But that's where we're at. You know, Melvin and Tina are working tirelessly to get them back, and it's just a matter of when we can get them back.
So an interesting selection mix for Tuesday against Bromley.
Yeah, I've got to sit down. I'll speak to John Gibbons and see what we've got available there. But we'll get some things going. We'll get some players out there. We'll get a game going, and then we look forward to that.
I'm sure this is coming up on the forum a little bit from time to time. Any news or any possibility of getting in a player at the moment?
I had a striker coming in from Margate. Spoke to him on Wednesday about getting him in. On Thursday, decided to go to Leatherhead.
Right.
Because he's got his mates there.
I was going to say, why would you go to Leatherhead?
Listen, Jimmy Bullard's a big pull.
Yeah,
you know, ex Premier League player. He's a big pull, so people will want to go and play for him. But I had a striker I thought tied up, ready to come, and he decided to go to Leatherhead. I've spoken to 2 other strikers and a midfielder, and it's just a case of whether we can get them out of their clubs. Well, I haven't. Whether we can get them out of their clubs, or we can agree a deal with them. You know, and we're working on it. You know, because we're not. Me and Barry was out Monday, went and watched 2 games Monday night. So we're looking at players constantly. Watched first half of AFC Wimbledon, and then went and watched Carl Shilton for the second half. So we're travelling, looking at games, trying to get players.
That's good.
But they don't come easy. So my week is taken up by football at the moment because I'm desperate for us to get out of this little mess we're in, and we are in a mess. But it just irritates me a little bit. But it's football, you know. When you do well 8 games, and then you hit a stumbling block of 5. What are we, 8th? Gone down to 8th today with some results. Lost a bit of ground. I won't look at the games in hand because you need points on the table. But you got to have a bit of a reality check and think we don't go from a bad side from 8 games and loads of clean sheets to losing 4 out of 5. You're not a bad side by doing that. There's something wrong, something I've got to put my finger on. Maybe it's injuries, maybe it's systems, maybe it's players. I've got to put my finger on it, and we've got to work through it. You know, Look at the first season we was here. How much trouble was in there? Yes, we've got better players now, but better players don't necessarily mean you're going to go and be successful. You've got to work at it, and hard work gets you success. And the boys are giving everything. So yeah, we're going to keep working hard. We're going to turn this round, and I can guarantee we will turn it round. Is it going to be next week? Is it going to be the week after? But soon, and this team's capable of going on an 8, 9, 10 game unbeaten run, as we did at the start of the season. So, panic buttons being pushed yet? No. Talk to me after Boxing Day, where we are. Any support wants to come and talk to me, and then we can see if there's panic stations, or if I'm still up for the job in terms of getting the best out of players, or it's someone else.
I think the negative thing is, if you like, after today we've got another fortnight without a league game, but that could turn into a positive. We're going to have a lot of league games. If we get into any kind of run, we could start really pushing out.
Got the Kent Cup, which everyone would like to win, don't get me wrong. We've got the FA Trophy, which we'd like to get a lot of money in and go as far as we can. It's very difficult. Bognor done well last year, but when you can't against these full-time conference sides, it's very difficult. So we'd like to have a run in that. If we wasn't, that gives me then a fortnight to get players back. But the team out there today, I went through it beforehand, have all got experience at this level and above. We weren't good enough in the final third. We were probing, but not clinical enough and bright enough. So, like I say, yes, it's ruined my weekend. It's ruined a lot of fans' weekends. Ruined the players' weekend. But we got to go again. And like I say, come Boxing Day, we'll have a reflection on the table. And if people still have the opinion that we are SHIT, if you like, and not good enough, then I'll take any questions people want to give me. But I know in my own heart of where I believe we'll be, and we'll be in a good position.
Thanks, Steve, as ever, for your honesty.
No problem, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, that's good.
Well, Tashi, first league start for us. How did you
Yeah. I thought we started off quite well. I thought I did alright when I got the ball into the feet. Obviously, when it came up in the air, I was struggling a little bit, physical. Needs to get a bit stronger. But I thought when I got the ball, I did alright. I tried beating my man, and thought, yeah, did alright.
It's a hard role when first you're the lone striker to doing the job Nathan does. When
it was
he's different players.
It's completely different to what I was playing in Ryman South football. It's level up really, so it's more physical. But I have to be on my toes more, and I have to improve in that aspect of the game and win my headers. But I did alright.
Disappointing result today. What's the general feeling with the players in the dressing room?
Yeah, it's obviously down 4, lost 4 and 5 now, I believe. It's obviously down in there, but we have to pick us up and obviously go for the next game on next Saturday or Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah, Tuesday's Bromley and Kensington Cup, isn't it? And the trophy next week against the same opponents. So Nathan's still out. We're looking forward to those 2 games.
I think I might be cup tied for next Saturday in FA Trophy.
Right.
But on Tuesday against Bromley, I believe I might start. So hopefully then I'll score a couple of goals and get my confidence up.
Tell me how the week has gone in the build up to this game, because presumably you thought you'd be playing for East Grinstead today.
Yeah, I did.
And you got a recall, didn't you?
Yeah, I got a recall from Steve on Thursday. So I was about to go training with East Grinstead. He called me up and just said he's recalling me. Obviously, it's due to Nathan missing. So I thought I have to step up really.
Did he tell you then you were going to be starting?
He said I might start. Had it feeling myself that I would, obviously with the injuries we've got and the players we're missing. And happy I did start, and maybe should have scored, but all in all, did alright.
You had one left on time in the first half, didn't you? That was a cheeky little sort of side of the thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was right.
At East Grinstead, you've been doing very well, haven't you? You've been scoring goals.
Yeah, 6 and 10. All right goals. Maybe could have scored a few more, but I'll take that.
For a player, making your first
start
for the club today.
Yeah.
How about the teammates? How much help do they give you? What
they was encouraging me from sidelines, all the players on the pitch, obviously encouraging me, keeping my head when it wasn't going so well. But all in all, they was all helpful, all encouraging me, and I thought it was all team effort, and we did well.
And your background, for those who don't know very much about you, how long have you been at the club?
I joined following Gillingham at under 16 level. I played in the under-18 sides and then went to reserves, and then this year obviously I've been online.
Yeah. Okay, well, best of luck for the next game you play.
Yeah.
If you're involved Tuesday,
Yeah.
commiserations, sorry up today, but well done on your first start.
Cheers.
Great, cheers,
Thank
Dave.
Yeah, good performance. Well done,
Thank you.
Tash. Brilliant.
Cheers.
Yeah, absolutely.